got some news. Do you want to hear it? Why am I wearing this? Hey, is that a dress I'm wearing? It sure is. So if you haven't guessed by the title yet, or the color of my background, or the fact that I'm wearing a dress, the fact that I have a trans tattoo that you probably didn't know about, maybe a couple other things, maybe my last YouTube video, I'm coming out trans today to all of you on my YouTube. A couple of you have asked, longtime followers, for a life update and where are you and what's this and what's happening, and so I'm going to give it to you. There's also a couple of things I want to talk about relating to the LGBTQ and trans community that I think are super toxic and super cringe, but also super important. Just want to talk about a few things, and I'm going to give you my trans story, my coming out story. So I'm going to stand here all awkward and be weird and cringe, but let's get to it. So for starters, I knew since I was 10, and I'm 31 now. So I came out in August of 2024, and that's 20 years after first thinking to myself, hey, this is weird, like, I'm different. I didn't know trans was a thing. Back then I didn't. And yeah, so basically, I was hanging out at my friend's house, and his sister would leave clothes all over the place, like just everywhere. And for whatever reason, I wanted to try them on. So I did. And like, I loved it. I loved it. I really did. It just felt right and amazing and like, just like the best thing ever. But didn't really have any trans friends, gay friends. I wasn't really involved in any LGBT community. I knew nothing. So I just kind of hid it and suppressed it for 20 years. And during those 20 years, I came to learn about trans and femboys and stuff. But like, I cross-dressed ever since the age of 10 or so, like off and on. And basically, I denied it, and I accepted it, and I denied it, and I went back to it, and then I became a femboy, and then insert beware the trans pipeline meme, but like, then I became a femboy, and then I started looking into hormones, feminizing HRT hormones, estrogen and spironolactone. I started talking to the trans health navigators here in Saskatchewan. 3 years ago now at this point. They gave me so many good resources, and then like, I did nothing with it. So basically, what I'm trying to say is like, I thought I was weird and girly, and then I didn't think so, and then I repressed it, and I threw away all my clothes, and then I got some back, like feminine clothes. Then I got some back, and then I would cross-dress, and then I became a femboy, and then I denied it. Then I grew a beard to help cope with it. Like, I pretty much did everything in my power to, like, not be trans, or, like, not be feminine. Like, I don't want to be. I honestly don't want to be, but, like, every time I see a nice girl who's, like, my height and sort of looks like me-ish, or, like, someone that I could look like or be like, I just get, like, a weird feeling in my gut. And it's like, I want that. I need that. I fucking, like, I can't explain it, but it's like a deep desire, want, need. 20 years of that, and I just gave up. I finally gave in. I say gave up, but like, I finally accepted it. And I said to myself, I want to start hormones. So I talked to my girlfriend. She's like, yeah, do it. So I started hormones in May of 2024. And then I didn't come out as trans until August 2024. So months later, how it happened was I was like, just felt extra emotional one day, and then I was talking to my girlfriend, who's amazing and supportive. And like, we just had a great talk, and there was a little bit of crying, not gonna lie. And I hugged her, and we hugged each other, and I basically said, I think I'm trans. And like, that's the first time I really ever admitted it to myself and somebody else. And then I talked to friends and some other trans friends, and then I met my like, just talking to my gender affirming care doctor. And basically, like, just finally accepting it. And if you're watching this video still, I honestly don't expect anyone to watch this video, but if you're still watching and you think you might be trans or a femboy or something, don't let it slip away. I wish I started earlier. I do. Like, I could have started when I was 10. I could have. But did I know back then? No, I didn't. And that's like part of the problem with trans shit in like politics and media. It's like, oh, you're pushing it on kids and whatever kids, but like, let's be honest. If you're trans and you want to take hormones and medically transition, it's so much better to start when you're younger, like before puberty. But again, I'm being real with you, and like, I personally believe this. If you're 9 years old, how can you really know if you're trans or not? Sometimes you know, sometimes you don't. If you're 10 years old and you think you're different and you're cross-dressing and then you're 30 and the feelings don't go away, I mean, I think you know by that point. You know what I mean? I think what I'm trying to say is that it's better to start when you're younger, but when you're young, you just really can't know. I mean, you know, but then like, what if you start hormones and then you hate it and then you want to get off and detransition, but you're kind of like too far into it, and like now you've done permanent damage, like maybe you've grown some breasts, and like now you're depressed and suicidal and like, oh, why did I do this? I'm not really trans. Like, you have to get to know yourself, and it's hard to know. I personally think it's better to start before puberty, but I'm one of the people that will say, don't start until you're at least an age of reason. And that's not 18, that's not 21. I think you're capable of making adult, formal decisions when you're like 14, 15. Not gonna lie, like, how many of you are 14, 15 years old trying to make adult decisions that you know when you know, and your parents are like, no, you're too young. If you're 14 and you're 15 and you've been struggling thinking you're trans for many years, you're trans. So yeah, I started hormones in May, so that's 8 months ago. And like, since I'm 30 years old, really not a whole lot of changes, unfortunately. But the older you are, the less changes you can expect, you know, by default. Just kind of your body is like, let's just say your body has matured to a point where it's not really going to make many more changes. If you're 20 and you start hormones, you're probably going to expect to see a little more changes. That's why I also say, like, start earlier, not later. It's been amazing. Obviously, I've had a little bit of breast development. Yeah, I'm happy with what I have. My face has changed a little bit. I'll show you some pictures. And like, that's pretty much it. I've had zero body fat distribution, but although I haven't really been trying, you know, I haven't been cutting and bulking. You shouldn't have to. Like, in theory, human beings are losing and gaining weight every single day. So over time, when you get, you know, estrogen and testosterone in check in your system in the female range, over time, your body fat should redistribute. It's not like it moves. It doesn't move around. You have to lose what you have and then put it back. So yeah, that's basically it. You know, it's your, I want to say, typical trans story. You know, you start having these feelings and desires, and many, many years go by, and you finally start doing something about it. And I'm here to tell you, don't wait. If you feel like you might be trans, go talk to a gender-affirming care doctor. Maybe start hormones. You could be on hormones for like 2, 3, 4 months before anything really starts to happen. And then like you could decide, oh, maybe I'm not trans, and then just get off the hormones. So don't be scared to try. Like, honestly. Well, now we get to the not so fun part of the video.
Spending money and I earned it. When I'm
Let me just put it this way. I drive a Tesla, and I get hate from the right and the left. The right says, and I have to censor this or I'm going to get banned off YouTube. The right says I am a faggot libtard, failed male, pussy, robot, mental patient, failed male, like just all the fucking bad words, right? And the left says I am a Nazi, racist, fascist, Trumper, Elon lover, you know, negative shit like that. And like, let me ask you this. For people that are identify as conservative or Republican or whatever, and people that call themselves Democrats or liberals, or just if you lean left or right, let me just ask you, do you actually know anybody that is legitimately racist or legitimately a Nazi? Like, actually, do you know anybody? I doubt it. I honestly doubt you know anyone like that. I don't. Right? But you don't see me as a trans person, as a liberal, because I'm trans. You don't see me as going around calling everyone a Nazi. You don't see me going around calling everyone Hitler because they went like this. Right? There are so many things wrong with liberal media today, and it's ruining society. It is. It just is. But let's not forget right-wing media, right? Right-wing media fucking hates left-wing media, and left-wing media hates right-wing media, and blah, blah, blah. It's a fucking fighting war. Everyone hates each other. Everyone bickers at each other. But yeah, if you have anything you want to talk about, or any comment you want to leave, or any concerns, or if you want to be toxic, go ahead and comment down below. I will not delete anything unless it's super bad, like to the point where YouTube would delete it. But yeah, I'd love to chat. And if you want to join my Discord, it's just a Discord full of normal people. There's some trans people in there and some LGBTQ people in there, but it's like nothing's forced. There's no agenda. There's no like, you have to call me by this pronoun or anything like that. It's just like a normal Discord. We chill, play CS2 and some other games. Let me know. I'll send you a link. Hopefully this isn't too big of a shocker for you all. I love you all. Thank you for watching and supporting. And I will talk to you later. Peace.